air for round 1. Looks good. We're in there. Just going to kind of go off, probably. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. Really doing it now. Not sure if this abbey would have been an island or a forest. Probably a forest. Yeah, maybe we should not be playing it if we have Rofellos. Alright, I can beat Wall of Omens, I think. Island is nice. Alright, so if we Rofellos, it's basically this, well, we can like Tribe Elder kind of for free-ish. At a little reduced rate, so yeah. So we could like Tribe Elder into Kioro, which is pretty sweet. Brick! Brick, brick, brick. When Augur of Bolas enters the battlefield, look at the bottom 3 cards of your library. Nope. Gifts ungiven. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm supposed to do this. Kind of stinks to have to get a forest. Maybe I don't have to get a forest, but... It's certainly better for what I'm doing right now if I do get a forest. And I could just bubble the Augur, which seems correct, because I don't really want to just lose Kiora, so we'll do that. So yeah, kind of doing it. Can't cast out people quite yet, but just go off with Avenger next turn. Alright, put a little Delver Wall of Omens deck. Alright, so... yeah, draw a card. Maybe land? Island, perhaps? That's pretty good. Do I want to use the ability? Come on now. Alright, so Delver flips, Kiora dies, but whatever. Oh, what'd you reveal? Impulse. And then what? We could like play Sage, Evo it away into Moloku, and just kind of go off. Or we could just Abbey our opponent. We could just do whatever we want at this point. Oh, Shardless Agents. Alright. Maybe we use that. As expected. I think it's Moloku, right? It's gotta be. Always yes, always yield. Alright, so if our opponent Wrath of Gods us out of their Delver deck, it's going to be bad times. I think that's unlikely. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no, with the attacks. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. No! All of our sweet things. Perhaps we should have sandbagged something. I think we're just gonna jam this Sage because worst case scenario, we have Upheaval for the reset on Sage. Yeah, imagine if we could have, like, we get Wrath, and then we could cast Shardless Agent, hit another Mana Dork, and then still have Eldritch Evolution. That would have been so good. Ooh, Deep Fiend. Ooh. So we could just raw Upheaval. That seems pretty rancid, though. I think I would rather just Deep Fiend. I assume my opponent's just going to go to combat, which is fine, and then we can Deep Fiend off the Rex Sage and kind of tap them out, eat their Precursor Golem. I think tapping Islands is better. Maybe this is bad because they just cast Gifts off this. Or just dissolve my thing and I get pounded. That's also fine. Gotta bait those counterspells out so we can Upheaval at some point. Well, Monument is not very good here. Would have been so good against the Verdict. Jeez. God, do we just want to raw Upheaval here? This seems so bad. But I can't take a hit for 9. So I guess our decision is made for us. Opponent does have to discard a bunch of stuff, which is good. They just discard the gifts. That's fair. Guess it's Bloom Tender. Like, not only can I attack for 1, but I don't think I have a card that could even turn it on for 2 mana, but yeah, I should have held back the Shardless Agent and the Evolution. There was no need to do all that nonsense when we were pounding our opponent with Avenger. They discarded Battlesphere too, jeez. Well, we could Monument and then start making tokens. I think it's better to just make token than play Monument. Uh-oh. Upkeep effects. Why upkeep and not draw step? Either way, you take my Monument, and that's very bad for me. Kind of all I got right now. Although opposition would be nice. Watery Grave, not so nice. Ah, yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Well, both of our 1-drops are gone. I suppose if we draw 2, then we can activate Abby. If we monumented there, I think we had a shot. Maybe we should have monumented first. Just to play around stuff like this. And then we could have made a token, sacked the GerryT, and actually been in fine shape with this. Day of Judgment? Well, good news is they're scared of me activating Abby, so... Thassa Scry or make tokens when our opponent is going to be able to play Precursor if they draw a land. So this is my deck. I could hit Wormcoil, maybe Cloudskate. Pod off my 0-mana thing, has no targets. I guess I do basically just have lands left in my deck. And that is it. I guess Manowar's decent. Opposition and Wormcoil are by far the best ones we can hit. Or, alternatively, we can just bank on them not hitting this 5th land. Did I cut the Kira? Maybe that was not wise with Thassa in my deck. Well, no land, please. Okay, well... That's kind of a bad land. It's kind of a great land because I can't really beat that. Oh, Jace Prodigy, I'm so jealous. Okay, okay. So do we play around the Daze / Force Spike? Is that a thing? I don't think we're losing out on too much by playing Island instead of Watery Grave. So might as well. Ancient Tomb, jeez. Declaration in stone on my Wormcoil engine. That's so messed up. And Terminus? So many sweepers. Seems like a bad matchup. Bad-ish matchup. Now they get to Precursor me too. Man, Ancient Tomb was a good draw. Well, we can't do anything with the pod. We have to go block. And I guess we're just DOB to Colonnade. Didn't even see what they Jace minused on. Stone? Yeah, that makes sense. I think they should just activate No, maybe not. Yeah, I'm dead. Dead. Alright. Could do these riders. Might want Factor Fiction to fight through Wrath. Summoning Trap is probably legit. Kira might be legit. Jace might be legit. So with our opponent having so many sweepers, we probably want to board out some of the stuff that's weak to sweepers. So probably just boarding out a Mana Dork or two. Not too excited about Rex Saging a Precursor Golem or a Mere Battlesphere. So, yeah, I don't know. Abby, they do have Stone and Terminus. And I want to bring in Jace at least. So we'll swap Abby for an island. I guess Sprawl is just better than like a 1-drop elf. Maybe I should play Mountain too. Alright, Island, you're back out. Get in there, Mountain. How good is Cura's Follower? It seems kind of tough to cast. Maybe Thassa stinks. Kind of good against sweepers, kind of not. Like, if we get swept, it's pretty unlikely that this thing is actually going to turn on. I'm also not sure how good the unblockability is, but it is kind of like a pseudo-planeswalker, just getting to scry every turn, which is certainly nice. But I think we're going to cut that. Oh, we have so many cards now. Maybe the evolution is just bad, too. Not only do they have counter spells, but they also have a bunch of sweepers, and like how much actual use are we going to get out of this thing? Like, are we going to just get like an Avalanche Rider with it? Seems not great. So now we only have 2 3-drop creatures. Monument's going to be a little light, but if we get to stick this with Moloku or Avenger, we should be pretty well set up. Could also just submit 41 here, which I think is kind of fine considering we might want to board down a land anyway. Who knows? I would love to play first. Hopefully I won't play as bad. Alright, one land, 2 Mana Dorks. Can't really do this, I don't think. Not on the play. Now we have just all blue manas with our green accelerators, but our hand is kind of powerful. So I'm going to keep this one and hope that we hit one of our 9 green sources. Dece. I think we just lead on Bloom Tender to get in for our point. Okay. Might want to try and save that Verdant for post-Avenger, but I'm not sure the game's actually going to get to that point. Yep, I'm in for red. Let's do that. In case we draw the Riders, we can turn it on and then kind of supercharge the Bloom Tender too. Muldrifter. Card would be good in my deck. Okay. So now here's the question. Do we actually just, like, drop this Moloku and just play into a Wrath, or just Factor Fiction? And if we're going to Factor Fiction, should we do it main phase? I think we should. Oh, yeah, that's some stuff right there. That is some stuff. I think I want the Opposition and the Summoning Trap. So you should just give those to me in one pile. That'd be great. That would be great. Might just take Opposition anything, realistically. Opposition any other piece of cardboard. Dude, I said I wanted Opposition and Summoning Trap, and you just gave them to me. Huh. Oh dear. Ancient Tomb is too good. Too good. Mentor, that's pretty nice. Basically just hoping for lands for the rest of the game. Mana War's not bad. So we could tap out for Moloku. We could basically tap out for Opposition. Or we could just Mana War the Mentor. And, like, if we do that, we get to sack the Clue. Get us closer to a land. But it's like, do I want to play Opposition first and then start deploying creatures? Or do I want to play creatures, open them up to removal spells, and then not necessarily get to use my Opposition? So I kind of think I'm just supposed to play Opposition here. And then hopefully it doesn't get, like, killed by something. As I said earlier, land is the best draw. I'll accept kind of anything at this point, though. Well, now I can flashback Stone. Alright, so we're definitely tapping down Island, and then I think maybe the Mentor. Guess we don't need to tap the Mentor necessarily right now. Could tap the Ancient Tomb. Not sure what kind of big stuff my opponent could play. I think we could probably take another hit. So basically just trying to keep my opponent from adding more things to the board, which would give me more things that I have to tap down. And now they're kind of just in the lock. So I can make 5 things. 6 things total. think we just settle in for tapping down all of our opponent's stuff. Angel of Serenity. So they gotta have some sort of like reanimation package going on. And this is kind of where this gets silly, where I'm just like doing a bunch of nonsense. Just making it so you can never play spells again for the rest of the game. Yeah, that's right. Alright, does Mentor change anything? I don't think so. This is definitely a card that could just beat me straight up, though. Basically just need to make it so they have to Wrath if they have Mentor. I don't think I really want Revoker. Well, his hand is not great. Don't know if I actually want a mulligan, though. It's weird. So Cloudscape comes off turn 5. They would have to, like, counter a creature from my hand to actually do anything. Oh, did the card thing not pop up again? Was it just down that entire last game and I didn't notice? Alright, we're going to mulligan. 6 in a scry is too good. Do we keep Island? This might be silly, but I'm going to bottom that. Uh-oh, Delverino. Oh, wish we had the island. Do you have the daze? Are you going to daze my Arbor Elf? No? I would love to turn one Summoning Trap, see what happens. Now does your Delver attack into my Arbor Elf? That's the question. Pretty sure I'm blocking. Like, not only is flying just a real threat, but it's just if they're gonna Wrath, I would rather have as few resources in play as possible. So actually just getting to trade one of my resources for a potential threat, and you know, I'm gonna have enough mana if Rafello sticks, and if it gets countered, then I get to trap. So I think trading is good, all that considered. And then am I just supposed to raw trap here? It seems kind of silly. Could have just played Forest and passed, I suppose. Oh, really? That's a beaten, for sure. Not expect the Condemn. Vendilion was certainly a thing, though. It's possible that attacking was just bad. Maybe I should have just played Forest and passed. Okay, that works out well, actually. But if I played Forest and passed, then I could have just floated mana and cast Summoning Trap. Well, either way, we're kind of in trouble. 'Cause Are they calling a beatdown time? Nope. Is it turtle up behind wall of omens time? Ew. Ew. I'm willing to guess that my opponent has dissolve at this point. If they fire up colonnade, then probably not, but okay. Land tax. Ugh. Just max punished. Okay. So do we want a Shardless? We can't really Kiora here. We can just pass and Summoning Trap. They're gonna get if we play a land, they're gonna get a bunch of lands, which kind of stinks. But I think it's okay. Oh, man. The value. I imagine this just gets dissolved. It's going to be really difficult for me to win. What's the best way to do this? Am I supposed to Kiora? Just like Kiora minus? Or I guess Kiora bubble the Flicker Wisp? That'll kind of force my opponent to animate the Colonnade. Not playing a land might be bad there. They've kind of already gotten their use out of land tax, and if I draw another land, then I can't Shardless into Monument, so maybe that's bad. Didn't really want them to draw another 3 cards, but maybe it just doesn't even matter. I have like backdoor -1 Kiora anyway, if I actually need to make that play, so. Oh, Raphael's is back. Well, this could end up working out. If this sticks and our opponent can't remove our Moloku, we just kind of go off. Force Will? Jeez. Well, now we have to rely on our Moloku sticking. I don't know, if you had Force Will, do you even counter the Monument? Like, you can't attack for this turn, but then I have to keep, like, sacrificing stuff? Doesn't seem great. I'm just going to dismiss all these lands. Like, imagine if I had to sack Shardless Agent and then I played Moloku, that got Force Willed, and I didn't have a follow-up. It would be very bad for me. But now I can actually play Moloku, and hopefully nothing too terrible happens. Rawr. Alright. Well, we have this thing. Likely just going to get Wrath of Magodded. Yep, I'm blocking every time. I ain't scared. Alright, so we could pick up 2 lands, still have enough to play Avenger, and then have 2 lands to pump it up. I think I would rather just sack the Clue with my mana. Maybe punished. We'll see. If we don't draw lands, that means we're probably drawing spells. They could be bad spells, though. Oh, no. Why in my upkeep? I don't understand. Shield. Ooh, Avalanche Rider. Bang! And big follow-up. Llanowar Elves. I feel like I could have played all 3 of these games a little bit better than what I did. Oh, no. Oh, no. You know, like, get your Muldrifter Flicker Wisp? Ugh. And the Wall of Omens? You just don't even care about my Llanowar Elf? Big mistake. Alright, we need opposition. GerryT. That is not good enough.